guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make cottage cheese pancakes. For this recipe, you're going to need a couple of ingredients. We're going to be using half a cup of oats, and these are blended. So if yours are not blended, make sure that you go ahead and do that first. We're going to be using a full fat cottage cheese. We're going to be needing 2 whole eggs, some olive spray, light agave. This is for sweetener, so you can use Splenda or brown sugar. We're gonna need some baking powder as well, and then a whisk, a medium-sized pan that I already have warming up. Let's get to it. So in a small bowl, we're gonna go ahead and add our oats in here. Oats is a great alternative for flour, and there's just so many recipes that you can make with them. We're gonna be using half a cup of cottage cheese. Go. Cottage cheese is very high in protein. Depending on if you get the full fat or the low fat, that's going to vary. But this one has 12 grams of protein per half a cup, which is what we're using. We're going to be adding 1 whole egg. And to add a little bit more protein, we're going to be adding 1 egg white. You can use the carton egg whites if you have it, or you can simply do this. That's a little bit messy, but it's okay. And then throw the yolk. We're going to be adding just a little bit of agave to give it some sweetener. And then the key ingredient to this is going to be the baking powder. If you do not add the baking powder, your pancakes are not going to fluff up. So make sure that you add that. Now we're going to give this a mix. For this, you can definitely use a blender. Because my blender is on the bigger side and I don't currently have a NutriBullet or a smaller one, if I add this, it's just going to be a mess, and I'm going to spend more time scraping off the mix than what I'm actually going to eat. So I'm just hand blending it, but if you have a smaller one, you can definitely go ahead and do so. You can already see that the cottage cheese balls or clumps, or I don't even know how you would call it, are not necessarily dissolving as much, which isn't a bad thing. I'm all about the texture, so I don't really mind them. If you do not like that texture, then I definitely recommend that you go ahead and blend them up. If you feel that this is too thick for your preference, you can add a little bit of water. I have some water here. But I think that I like this consistency. I've done a couple of pancake recipes in the past, and I've noticed that the thicker your mix is, the thicker your pancake and a little bit harder that it's going to be. That's why it's very important for you to use your baking powder. But with that being said, if you add too much liquid to it, then it's going to be very runny and it's going to come out more like a crepe. If it sticks, it might just be too runny that it doesn't stick. So you want to make sure that it's a little bit on the thicker side. That way you have a nice pancake. So I've gone ahead and mixed that quite a bit. My pan is pretty warm. I'm gonna up the temperature a little bit. And this is olive oil cooking spray. You can use whatever type of cooking spray you have. You can use a little bit of olive oil and just rub it on your pan. I just have this. I've been using this for a really long time. Okay, that's all mixed. The next thing I am gonna recommend when you make these is that you use a smaller measuring spoon. This is half a cup. I don't have my 1/4 of a cup, which is the perfect one. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this and just use half of it. But this way your pancakes come out about the same size. Or else you're gonna have, one pancake that's small and then one that's big. And this way all of them are about the same size, and you'll learn how many you can make per batch. So this was 1 serving, and I'm gonna say, just based off of the size that I'm making, that I'm gonna come out with at least 4 to 5 pancakes. So you kind of guesstimate, okay, I'll have 5 pancakes and I want to make 10, so I'll just double up the recipe. And that's really how